Hi, I'm John Stevenson, and we're going to be looking at Psalm 101, the integrity of the king. We start off with the superscription, a Psalm of David. I have to note that up to this point, we haven't really seen a Psalm of David in quite a long time. I remember how the Psalms are divided into five separate books, and the first book and the second book had a lot of Psalms of David. We got to the third book, that was starting in Psalm 73 to 89, a lot of Psalms of Asaph there. Not much that are ascribed to David. And book four started in Psalm 90, and we haven't seen any Psalms of David since we started book four. But we just came out of a section that we is described as the enthronement Psalms. Those were Psalms 93 to 100. And it pictures God on the throne and also God's person, his king, upon the throne. And of course, remember that David was the king. So this psalmist is still, I think, the voice of the king. And we're going to hear that as we walk through the psalm. Let's begin it. I will sing of loving kindness and justice to you, O Lord, I will sing praises. So maybe this psalm is meant to be sung. If the psalmist is singing, maybe we should be singing it too. So if you want to sort of think of a tune in the back of your mind, I don't have a musical accompaniment here. But this is a psalm that I would suggest is meant to be sang. Notice meant to be sung. I will sing of loving kindness and justice to you, O Lord, I will sing praises. I will give heed to the blameless way. By the way, notice he's praising here God's qualities in the opening psalm, in the opening verse. But then that changes in verse 2 slightly, where not only is he singing of God's loving kindness and justice, I will give heed to the blameless way. I'm going to pay attention to that. When will you come to me? Now, when he asks, when will you come to me? I don't want to be dogmatic here, but I think of, if I'm thinking of a Psalm of David, I'm thinking of that time when he is king and he brings the Ark of the Covenant, which signifies the presence of God. And he brings it into Jerusalem. And the presence of God, the idea there, not that he's trying to manipulate God, but he's bringing the Ark of the Covenant into Jerusalem so that God can come into the presence of the city, and that David and his people can dwell in the presence of God. He goes on, I will walk within my house in the integrity of my heart. Now, we don't have the tabernacle yet, so it's his house. We're not talking the temple. We're talking about his new place. He's going to be calling Jerusalem now the city of David. We could have called Bethlehem the city of David because that's where David was born. But now, notice, I'll walk within my house in the integrity of my heart. And this is why we're calling this, saying the psalm has to do with integrity. And so what he's done here in verse 2, he's seeking to exemplify those qualities that were praised back in verse 1, the qualities of God. As David brings the ark, maybe that's the setting here. I don't want to be dogmatic there, because he asked the question, when are you going to come? But David is seeking to exemplify those qualities in his city, within his house, within his life. Verse 2, I will set no worthless thing. It's actually worthless. Belial. We see sometimes worthless men, sons of Belial. But this is a worthless thing. I guess you could have rendered it a worthless word, but notice it's not before his ears, it's before his eyes. So I think worthless thing is probably a better rendition. I hate the work of those who fall away. And so what we're looking at are those things that are not good, those qualities that he does not want to have manifested in his life, in his city. It shall not fasten its grip on me. A perverse heart shall depart from me. I will know no evil. Whoever secretly slanders his neighbor, him I will destroy. No one who has a haughty look and an arrogant heart will I endure. And so what David is saying here, he's looking at those sinful qualities that he does not want in his city. They are to be avoided both in his life and in his presence. But remember, these are the words of the king. And so the king is saying, we're going to banish those negative qualities from our presence, from, can I say, even from the kingdom, although kingdom's not mentioned here. I think that's the background. We continue into verse 6. My eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He who walks in a blameless way is the one who will minister to me. So notice we went from negative qualities to positive qualities. And these positive qualities, he desires to make them part of his presence. Notice they're faithful of the land and they're going to dwell. Those who walk in the blameless way, they will minister. They will be part of his, can we say it this way, part of his government. Reminds me of a place in Isaiah that talks about how the government will be upon his shoulders. Verse 7, he who practices deceit shall not dwell within my house. He who speaks falsehood shall not maintain his position before me. Notice the dwelling in my house, but especially the position before me, the ministering, the position. Those are all ideas of who is going to be in the government, who's going to represent his house, who's going to be in those. And these are the negative qualities, the bad qualities. So you've got the good qualities, the bad qualities, and we've been going sort of back and forth. We started with holding up the good qualities of God and then seeking to have those in his life. Then we looked at the bad ones. We came back to the good and now the bad. And now we're going to be finished with the psalm. It's a very short psalm. Come now to verse 8. Every morning I will destroy all the wicked. And what we're saying here is his personal resolve. So each morning I'm going to not just do it once, it's going to be an ongoing thing. I will destroy all the wicked of the land so as to cut off from the city of the Lord all those who do iniquity. Now notice the reference to the city of the Lord. This is why I suggested this is sort of a governmental thing. But when you talk about the city of God, that's going to be Jerusalem, both earthly Jerusalem. When we get to the New Testament, we have this picture of the heavenly Jerusalem. But I'm reminded when we're talking about those who cut off from the city, all those who do iniquity, that's part of the reason that when the Messiah promised in the Old Testament, when Jesus came and was crucified, he wasn't crucified in the city. He was crucified outside, as Hebrews says, outside the camp. And so notice the destroying and the cutoff, that he took our sins upon himself and he died outside the city so as to, can I say it this way? So as to remove iniquity from the city, so as to destroy the wicked of the land, to take that wickedness upon himself. Not that he became wicked, but that he was treated as though he were wicked. He bore our sins upon his own body, but outside the city. So we have this statement by Peter, 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 13. But according to his promise, we are looking for new heavens and a new earth, and might I say, even a new city in which righteousness dwells.